It's a phone number you hear us say all too often, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. That's the anonymous tip line for Crime Stoppers. But who's on the other end of that call might surprise you.
We're not located in the United States.
We're civilians as well. We're not police trained in any way.
Of course, Crime Stoppers works to help police solve some of the biggest mysteries in Michigan.
Yes, and now for the very first time, Defender cameras take you inside the remote location where the tips are actually taken. Defender Hank Winchester crossed the border for an exclusive look.
When you call Crime Stoppers, just who's on the other end of that line? Where is the top secret call center? And is your tip really anonymous? Tonight, the Defenders take you across the border inside this unique crime-fighting operation. It's right here in this small, picturesque Canadian town where men and women are focused on one thing: solving some of the biggest crimes in Metro Detroit.
So you want to report on drugs?
Inside this unmarked building, these crime fighters are taking critical information from you.
How are you aware of the actual crime?
Right now, you're inside the Crime Stoppers call center.
Do you know if anyone else has knowledge of this crime?
And we're not revealing the exact location of this top secret call center.
Crime Stoppers, how can I help you?
But we're hundreds of miles away from Detroit, far from any big city.
Have you ever been to Detroit?
No.
Impressions of Detroit?
Impression, it's kind of a place that you wouldn't want to go.
Here in this town, violent crime is something people only read about in the newspaper. Detroit is a world away.
Derelict, crime-ridden.
Dangerous?
Dangerous, absolutely.
But here inside this room, solving crimes in Detroit is the focus.
We're strictly citizens that have been trained to take calls from the general public that are calling in.
Lisa McDonald helps run the call center.
We're not located in the United States, so that really helps with the Michigan call takers.
And that's key because Crime Stoppers has built its brand around the fact that you will remain anonymous.
We make sure that we don't have any caller ID, there's no call recording. We make sure that we don't use a first or a last name or a nickname.
Hundreds of tips come in every single day. The information gathered here put into files to help track each crime. The critical clues are then shared with investigators here in Metro Detroit working on any particular case.
We have training that comes in for police officers, program coordinators who are assisting us to build our knowledge to be able to know what to ask, as we're civilians as well.
Michigan Crime Stoppers, how can I help you?
And because those taking the calls are civilians, they seek out information in a much different way than a police officer. Think of it more as a conversation rather than a confrontation.
When the callers call in, we need to ask them specific information to solve crimes.
We have seen it over and over again. Crimes in Detroit solved, fugitives brought to justice, all because of one piece of information. Within the last year alone, Crime Stoppers Michigan has received 6,234 tips, leading to 282 arrests. 44 illegal weapons have been removed from the streets and more than $76,000 in stolen property returned. Retired Detroit Police Detective Tom Barry says your clues are critical.
We cannot be effective as police officers without the public.
Remember, when you call Crime Stoppers, police won't have access to your name or phone number. They won't even know what state you're calling from. They just want the information you're passing on to those in the call center.
Crime is everybody's business. It's all of our business. If we don't fight together, the police and the public, and have a partnership, we're nothing.
And even right here in this Canadian town, where the last murder was in 1978, there are a team of people focused on helping police in Detroit track down dangerous criminals. They just need your help. And remember, if your tip leads to an arrest, you could collect a cash reward. The Crime Stoppers toll-free number, 1-800-SPEAK-UP. I'm Local 4 Defender Hank Winchester. Back to you.